How to fix lag in Call of Duty Mobile in 2021. How's it going, everybody? I'm Exotic Gaming, and in today's video, I'm going to show you guys the top 20 best ways to reduce ping and to lower lag so you can play Call of Duty Mobile on a low-end device just like you would be able to on a high-end one. I hope this video is going to help you out. There's a lot of great tips and tricks here for Call of Duty Mobile. If it does, all I ask is for you to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. So many people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. You might be one of them, and if this video does help you out, I hope it's worthy enough of a subscription. Thank you so much, guys, and with that being said, let's get into this. Tip number 1, do not play Call of Duty Mobile while your phone is charging. Believe it or not, when your phone charges, it gets hot. And when you play Call of Duty Mobile, it also gets hot. So if you think about it, you're basically combining lava with the surface of the sun. Bam! That's not a good recipe, okay? That's a recipe for disaster. Your phone's gonna start overheating. It's gonna get really, really slow, laggy, and not great, right? So when your phone gets down to low battery, put it on the charger, put it away, and when it's fully charged or close to fully charged, then you can take it off the charger and play Call of Duty Mobile once again. Tip number 2, you need to clear your app's cache. On some phones, it's as simple as tapping and holding on the icon until you see app data appear. On other phones, you need to go down into the settings to the app info, find Call of Duty Mobile, and then clear the cache. Do not clear the data, clear the cache. And that could be many, many hundreds of megabytes cleared instantly from your phone that you can now use for something else. Tip number 3, go into your game settings, and if you're having a tough time running the game properly, make sure you have lower graphics turned on and higher frame rates. You might think that graphics is very important, but in reality, your frame rate is much more important than your graphics, all right? Unless you're playing Battle Royale and you need to spot somebody from hundreds and hundreds of meters away, chances are you're going to be in a close-ranged multiplayer map, and everything is going to look perfectly fine on lower graphics. So in all honesty, you can put it down to the lowest graphics settings possible and to the highest frame rate possible, and then your game should run a little bit better. Tip number 4, you need to enable 4 times MSAA in the developer settings on your phone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what you need to do is go over to your settings and then search the word build number. Then, once it appears, you're going to tap that thing over and over again 7 times. Once you tap that 7 times, you should now unlock developer options on your phone, and then from there, you can scroll down, eventually find enable 4 times MSAA, and make sure you check that on. That's going to boost up device performance and make it run even better. But that's not all, because believe it or not, sometimes it's as simple as just turning off power saving on your phone, right? Sometimes you might have 10-15% battery, and in that case, you probably should just put it on the charger and leave it. But if you want to play the game, at least maybe 1 or 2 matches, don't put on low battery mode, because that's going to reduce your device's performance. You need to have this thing maxed out at full performance if you want to run the game the best at that it possibly can. And another simple solution, seriously, you might just have to close out some other apps. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? If you have Call of Duty Mobile and say Discord open, for example, you might have to close out Discord because that's a background process and that is eating into your device's performance when you're playing Call of Duty Mobile, all right? So close out every single other app that you have open, and then what you can also do is delete all unnecessary apps as well. If you're having a tough time trying to find space on your phone, you need to just delete apps that you don't use, all right? If you're an iOS user, there's this beautiful thing where you can offload unused apps and they can actually reinstall whenever you need to use them again and keep all the data. If you're on Android, just delete the apps that you don't use anymore, and that's going to hugely increase the amount of storage space that you have right now on your phone. But hey, what happens if you have something like maybe a Realme phone or something like that? Or maybe, hey, a Nubia phone. I have a bunch of Nubia phones, right? With those types of phones, there are gaming modes that you can turn on. And in gaming modes, you can actually put all of your device's performance into that one specific game. So you need to do a little bit of research. And if you just recently got your phone and it's struggling to run Call of Duty Mobile, see if that phone has a game mode, and then you should probably turn that on every time you're playing Call of Duty Mobile, even if you have a powerful phone. It's going to help things out and make your phone overheat less. Speaking of overheating, dude, that's a fact of life. Whether or not you have an iPhone 5 or an iPhone 13, it doesn't really matter. You're going to have an overheating phone a lot. And what you need to do is sometimes it's as simple as just putting it in the refrigerator. Now, I get idiots in my comment sections on my past videos that are like, well, that actually damages the phone. And dude, no, your refrigerator is like 35 degrees, 40 degrees, right? That's like 4 degrees Celsius. Dude, people live in climates where the weather is always colder than that, and they have a phone and it's perfectly fine. So don't tell me it damages your phone. It's a really efficient way to cool it down, and you know, after 5-6 minutes or so in the refrigerator, it's going to be back down to normal temperatures, and you can play Call of Duty Mobile again. But hey, if you don't want to do that, if you want to actually cool it down while you're playing, you can always get a little fan and have the fan blowing at the phone while you're playing, right? And so that cold air is going to push toward the phone and cool it down when you're playing a game. Now, if you're having a problem with storage space, you probably need to get rid of some of your photos and videos. Now, I know they're precious, so the first tip that I say is make sure you put stuff on the cloud, okay? I don't care if it's Google Drive or if it's iCloud Photos. It doesn't matter, right? You need to put as much stuff as you can on the cloud, or at least on a computer, and then that way you have less stuff on your phone that you worry about. In theory, if your phone breaks, you don't want to have all of that data on your phone and then you lose everything, right? So you should always put it off on a computer or on the cloud so you can save that stuff, and then that also reduces the amount of storage space that's taken up by this type of stuff. Delete those duplicate photos and then get rid of the largest videos. Those are the first things that need to go. If you have a 15-minute long video of a soccer game, that's not a good video to have on your phone. That is so much space wasted on your phone, right? So you need to get rid of those things, and then that way you can clear up even more space on your phone. But hey, if you have a ping problem, I mean, seriously, it might just be as simple as playing with people in your region, right? If you have a lot of friends all around the world, well, I'm sorry, you're out of luck, because you're going to end up having to connect to one of those servers, and if the server is not the one that's closest to you, well, that sort of sucks, right? So say you're a Filipino American and you live in California, but you have other friends, 2 friends in the Philippines, and you're playing with them. That's 2 people in the Philippines, 1 in the United States. You're probably going to connect to an Asian server, right? So the person that's in California is kind of screwed. If you want to lower that ping, you're going to have to play with people that are in your region, whether it's in the United States or Europe or Asia. And if you live in Africa, things are a bit rough, all right? Can we get a hashtag justice for South Africa in the comments section? Because I get so many comments from people from South Africa that are like, dude, I have such bad ping. There's no server even close to me. Come on, Activision. Let's get South Africa a server, please, okay? Oh, wait. We probably should talk about the actual in-game settings, shouldn't we? Because that's pretty important. It might just be as simple as turning on a couple of different settings in your game. Now, unfortunately, that would take many, many minutes of time, so in the background, you are seeing what my current settings are that would optimize my gameplay to be the most efficient on a low-end device. But if you wanted to see a more in-depth tutorial on all of the best settings to reduce that lag, then I would suggest checking out this video linked down below in the description. This video would take far too long if I included everything from that one. So if you wanted to see the in-game settings, then go check that video out linked down below in the description. But continuing on, another thing that you can actually do is combine your Wi-Fi and your cellular connection. Now, if you're one of those types of people that has to switch between Wi-Fi and cellular a lot of times because sometimes your Wi-Fi drops and then sometimes your cell connection isn't that great, well, you can actually combine them together. And there's an app called Speedify this is non-sponsored, by the way. This is just actually a really cool app that will combine both of the connections together to give you more stable internet. If you go into the App Store or the Google Play Store, you can see that app there and you can download it, go through the instructions, but it's a really neat app that's basically going to combine your cellular and your Wi-Fi together so you can have a more seamless experience. But speaking about other apps, we got to talk about an app called 1.1.1.1. What a name, right? But no, seriously, let's not make fun of that app because 1.1.1.1 is actually really cool. It's a DNS server that will allow you to connect to a more private internet with a more optimized connection, right? There's a lot of latency and weird things that go on between the internet and your phone, and what this app does is it essentially gets rid of some of that stuff, cuts it down so you have a more efficient connection directly from the internet to your phone, and that is going to give you less ping, at least for some people, when you're playing Call of Duty Mobile. Now, if you have lag issues, here's another great thing that you can do. You can actually limit the background processes for certain apps on your phone, right? So what you need to do is go over to your settings, to the developer options, and you need to go down to where you see background processes and make sure you have it at 1 only, okay? If you have too many checked, that's going to be too many apps that are running in the background, and it's going to slow down your phone because too much of that data is going to too many different apps at the same time. You need to have it focus on Call of Duty Mobile, not all this other stuff that's in the back. If you're having an issue with your internet, then it might just be as simple as other devices being connected to the internet that are taking up most of your Wi-Fi. Say you're playing on this phone right here, but you have another phone, and this other phone is downloading the entirety of the Shrek trilogy in high definition. Well, dude, this is taking up most of the bandwidth of your internet, and this one's not going to work well. So make sure somebody else in your house is not using up all that internet right now. And if it's your parents, well, I mean, good luck trying to convince them to get off of it, because you're probably not. But if you have another device that's connected that's using it up right now, try to turn it off, and then that way you can focus more of your internet's bandwidth to one phone specifically. And getting down to the wire here, all right, we only have a couple more, but you need to delete your texting conversations that are taking up a lot of space on your phone. If you still have an issue with storage space on your phone, what you can actually do are download apps that can transfer all of your text conversations to a PDF on your computer. If you have a computer, you can download certain programs that will essentially download the entire texting conversation from whenever it started and then save it as a PDF. And then that way you can delete that conversation, or at least a good chunk of that conversation, and then that way you have more space on your phone. I would not keep texting conversations from 2016 to people that you've never talked to before since 2016, right? So just get rid of some of those messages and some of those photo and video attachments, and that should boost up your overall storage by quite a lot. Now, here's where things could get a little bit iffy. It could be a virus that might be on your phone, right? Less likely if you're on an iPhone, more likely if you're on an older Android device. Newer ones, probably not an issue, but if you have an older one, it could be an issue, potentially. You can download certain apps. I'm not going to recommend any specific one, but these apps will allow you to scan for viruses and see if there's any potential virus that's eating up a lot of that storage space or RAM on your phone. And most of those are free. I wouldn't recommend paying for an antivirus because they'll all pretty much do the same thing. Get a free one and see if you have any viruses that might be causing that issue. And then, again, talking about other apps, the second to last thing, the 19th thing that we're going to be talking about is downloading some sort of app that will scan and clear junk cache on your phone. There are many, many different apps that you can download on Android and even on iOS, and I'll link some of my favorite ones down below in the description if you guys would like to check them out. But essentially what they're gonna do is they're gonna scan your phone, they're gonna see what's taking up storage space that you can delete, because there are a lot of things that you can't delete on your phone unless you want to screw everything up, right? But there's a lot of stuff that's just wasted storage space, and those apps will scan your system, see what they can get rid of, and then delete it, and then you might have up to 1 gigabyte of space freed up on your phone. It's great, it's fantastic, it works wonders. And at the very end of it all, there is probably the most complex solution, but a solution nonetheless. I'm going to actually link another video down below in the description. It is this one. I want you guys to watch that video and see if it's something that you would potentially want to try out on your Android phone. It's not something you can do on iOS, but it is something you can do on Android. And essentially, what it does is it lowers the overall amount of pixels on your phone so it uses less processing power. I know it sounds crazy, but your phone and your game might look absolutely terrible, but it will run better if you go through this whole process. It's complicated. You need a computer, and that's why I saved it for the end, because a lot of people don't have a computer, and it's worth a shot if you have not been able to successfully reduce lag and ping with all of the other steps that I said earlier on in this video. Now, I can get more in-depth with a lot of stuff. If you guys have more questions about any of the things that I said in this video, please comment down below, and I will try my best to explain anything if you have any difficulties whatsoever. I would never recommend paying any money for any of the apps that I recommend or any of these other types of stuff. Seriously, what you should do is, instead of buying a new battle pass or instead of buying some random crates in the game, you should be saving up that money and then getting an improved Wi-Fi router. I mean, that's seriously the first step that you should do if you want to get a better gaming experience when you're playing Call of Duty Mobile. Seriously, invest in a better router, and it's going to be so much better for you. But if you can't, well, I hope at least some of these things that I mentioned helped you guys out. If it did, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more Call of Duty Mobile videos, more random gameplays, and tips and tricks videos just like this. Thank you so much for your time, and with that being said, I'll see you all later.